YouTube. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning right now. Ended up falling asleep last night around 9 p.m. Woke up at about 3:30. So got up and played a few games with the guys. My girlfriend went out last night to the boat. She never goes out to the casino, so I don't know what prompted her to do that, but she went out to the boat last night and stopped at the Village Inn on the way home, and she brought me home some leftovers. So before I go back to bed, I've been up for about 3 hours. I have to go and do some mulch laying here in about 4 hours, so I might just take a little 3-hour nap here. Quiet you. I might just take a little 3-hour nap here, so I'm gonna eat something real quick. But it looks like, I don't know exactly what she's got, but it looks like cheese steak or steak and cheese sandwich or something, French fries and a sausage patty. So I figured, if I'm gonna eat some food, I may as well just make a little video. Why not? Today's my last day of freedom before I have to worry about going back to work tomorrow night. So what can you do? But anyways, I know I should probably be doing the whisper thing here. Matter of fact, do I even have everything set? Yes, I do. Okay, so at any rate, what I thought I'd do is, while I'm eating here, I like to check the current events in the morning, just to see what's going on in the world. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the iPad here, and I'm gonna check and see what's going on. And it's usually, sadly enough, it's usually almost always negative shit. It's just really surprising, but right off the bat, first thing I see, 6 are dead after shootings in Georgia community. Of course. So let's see. A 51-year-old man shot and killed 5 people in the unincorporated East Georgia community of Appling on Friday night, officials said, before fatally turning a gun on himself in his garage. This is what we start off with in the morning. Captain Andy Shedd of the Columbia County Sheriff's Office said the suspect, Wayne Hawes, lived in the neighborhood about 25 miles west of Augusta, where he carried out the shootings at 2 houses, killing 3 adults in one of them and 2 in the other. Relatives said one of the victims, Reba Dent, was Mr. Hawes' mother-in-law, and Vernon Collins, the Columbia County coroner, said Mr. Hawes' wife was in protective custody on Friday night. The shootings occurred about 35 minutes apart, Captain Shedd said. The captain said the police were called to 3162 Johnson Drive about a shooting at 7:54 p.m. He said 2 victims were declared dead at the scene. A third died at the hospital. 1 man and 2 women were killed. Mr. Collins said the man who was shot was also found with his throat slit. At 8:32 p.m., the police were called to a shooting at 5581 Washington Road, about half a mile away from the scene of the first shooting. At the second site, a woman and man were found dead of gunshot wounds. Mr. Collins and Harriet Garrison, the county's deputy coroner, identified the 5 victims. Miss Dent, 87, was found at the scene of the first shooting, as were Roosevelt Burns, 75, and Traquila Clark, 31. Miss Clark was discovered alive but wounded and was taken to a hospital where she was pronounced dead. Discovered at the second scene were the bodies of Shelley Williams, 63, and his wife Lizzie Williams, 60. Each died from a single gunshot wound to the neck. They were sitting on a sofa when they were killed, Miss Garrison said. Sheriff's deputies found Mr. Hawes' body in his house about midnight. He died of what appeared to be a single gunshot wound to the head, and apparently tried and failed to set the house on fire. A resident of the neighborhood who spoke on the condition of anonymity because the gunman was still being sought at the time of the interview said she was home with her mother when they heard 4 gunshots in the first shooting. My mother was like, "That's a whole bunch of shooting," she said. At first, she said, they thought it was someone hunting in the woods. We just kind of peeked out, she said, and that they saw a man leave from the victim's home in a car. After we saw him go off, we were like, "That's not right." Then she said another resident, a relative of the victims, who had gone to the house to investigate, started screaming, "Call 911." Resident said she entered the home with the relative and could see 2 people in chairs were already dead, and another person was slumped over and bleeding profusely. She said the road late on Friday was teeming with police officers, and some of them with assault rifles. The location where 3 of the victims were shot is set amid a cluster of small 1- and 2-bedroom clapboard homes in a historically African-American neighborhood called King Villa. The other home where the second shooting occurred is on a high embankment. A woman named Tanya Dent was leaving the house on the embankment Friday night. She appeared sad but calm and offered scant detail, though she did say a husband and wife were killed here. She also said that all 5 victims were members of her extended family. "All I know is my family's gone," she said. On Friday night, a group of about 30 people stood in the yard, apparently gathered in prayer, illuminated by a single street lamp and the flickering blue lights from sheriff's cruisers. What a way to start the morning. That's just, I don't know what to say about that. My heart goes out to the people who lost family members and those who were affected by it. I don't even, why would you even do that? Like, if they were all extended family, maybe it was a personal thing, I don't know. And, jeez, is this the same thing, pretty much? Or is it, I don't know. No, right? Is this the same person? I don't think so. I think this is different. Let's take a look. Yeah, this is a different person. What the fuck? So we have one shooting right there, and then there was another freaking shooting. 8 killed this time. Killed 8 members of one family execution style Friday in 4 separate homes in rural Ohio. Authorities believe one gunman is behind the killings in Peebles, Ohio, and that he is on the loose. Though a person of interest... What does it say? A person of interest was detained in another community Friday night. They interviewed him after a vehicle was stopped around 6:30 p.m. ET and officers from the Chillicothe, I think it's Chillicothe, actually, Police Department and Ross County, Ohio Sheriff's Office took what appeared to be 2 people into custody. Authorities did not release more information. The shootings claimed the lives of 7 adults and a 16-year-old boy. Authorities said several of the victims were shot dead in their beds, their homes just miles apart. A 4-day-old, a 3-year-old, and a 6-month-old survived. Well, that's good at least. But I mean, nothing about that is good, really. Because they're going to grow up without parents. It's the only thing about reading the news anymore. It's mostly depressing, negative shit. I can still lose. It even says here there may be more, 2 or 3. We don't really know how many people we're talking about when it comes to the gunman. So, several schools in the area were placed on lockdown as precaution. Police erected barriers to keep out traffic Motive for the killing is unclear, but the evidence suggests the Roden family was targeted, considering the shootings occurred in 4 separate crime scenes. Okay. Well, hopefully, maybe we'll find something positive here eventually. Of course, that's just politics and sports. Denver's new airport train starts service. The newest departure from Denver International Airport isn't a plane, it's a train. Okay. What does it say about that? That's interesting. Local authorities on Friday launched a new Denver DIA train service aimed at whisking people from the airport to Denver's Union Station. Just 37 minutes for $9. Wait a minute. Did I? Wait a second. Oh, I hope I didn't. I probably did.